Welcome to Lesson 5 in Geometry, where we are talking today about angle bisectors. Constructing angle bisectors. So we need to recall what a bisector is from Lesson 3, and we remember that a bisector is any line that divides a shape or line into two equal parts. So we've talked a couple classes ago about a perpendicular bisector, which bisected a line segment directly into two halves. And last class we talked about angles, and an angle is where two lines or edges meet. So in this lesson we're going to be talking about angle bisectors. An angle bisector then is the geometric construction that divides an angle into two equal parts. So there are four ways to construct an angle bisector: paper folding, mirror, a plastic right triangle, and a compass and a ruler. And once we've constructed the angle bisector, there are three different ways that you can check to make sure that the angle's been drawn properly. The first way is to measure the two angles with a protractor and make sure that they are both exactly the same. The second way is to fold the angle along the bisecting line, and if you've bisected the angle properly, the two arms of the angle should coincide or lay on top of each other. The third way is to use the mirror and place the mirror along the bisector, and then the reflected arm should coincide with the other arm and vice versa. So now I'm going to show you the four different ways to construct an angle bisector. Okay, so method number one for drawing an angle bisector is paper folding. So the first thing we're going to do is draw an angle. Okay, so there's our angle, and we will call this A, B, and C. What you do in your paper folding is you pinch this point right here and bring this arm to lay on top of this arm. So you take your paper, and you find your point B, which is right here, and you pinch it so to make sure you're right in the corner. And then you lay your paper down and you slide it so that your arms are laying on top of each other. Then you crease your paper. When you open it up, you have your crease here that's going right through point B, and you can take your ruler and draw that bisector in. Okay, so that's paper folding. The second way is with a mirror. Create another angle. And we do the same thing with our mirror as we did with the perpendicular lines and the perpendicular bisectors. You put it right in the corner, though, of your angle. Again, with the beveled side on the side that you're going to draw on. So you put that right in the corner, and then you adjust the angle until the two arms once again lie on top of each other, and then draw along that edge. You'll notice that it's not quite going into the exact corner right here, so it's not as accurate as it could be, and that's because you're dealing with the thickness here that you're drawing against, so it's really hard to get a very accurate bisector. But when you're asked to use a mirror, there is an element of error there that's involved. All right. The third way is with a right angle triangle, and so we're going to draw yet another angle. Okay. And again, we'll label this A, B, C, and remembering that when we call these angles, we write it as angle A, B, and C. So you take your right angle triangle and you take this point, so here's your right angle here. So you take the opposite point from the right angle side and you stick it in the point of the vertex of your triangle. You lay it flat and you draw up the side of the right angle triangle. Okay. Then, leaving this point here, because this line was along this arm of your angle, this side of the triangle needs to now go on this arm of your angle. So you take it and you flip it so that the point is still at the vertex B, but now this edge of the triangle is lying along the arm segment BA. And once again, you draw up the side. So you've created an intercept point right here. Then you can take that intercept point and take it right back to B and draw your bisecting line for this angle. So once again, you take your right angle triangle, the right angle away from the vertex of your triangle, or away from the vertex of your angle, and you put this point on the vertex B, and on this side of the triangle on this arm, BC, put it down, draw down the side, keeping the point in. You can sometimes, if you put your finger on it and you know it needs to stay there, and then you just flip it over so that the arm is on the other side, and then draw down that one. That intersect point becomes your bisector for this angle. The last way is with a compass. So you take your compass point and put it on vertex B. And it doesn't matter how far you go. You don't want to go too close because then you're working in a confined space. You don't want to go too large because then you're drawing all over your paper. So just a little ways in here, and you're going to intersect both of these arms. Okay? Now, keeping your compass exactly the same, you're going to put it on this point that you've just created on this arm, and you're going to draw another arc up here. And then you're going to move it down to this point on this arm and create an intersecting arc here. This point here is going to be your angle bisector. So you connect that back to your vertex B. And there you have it. So once again, compass point on B, intersect both arms, keeping your compass exactly the way that it is. Move it to this intersect point, draw an arc, move it down to this intersect part, draw an arc, connect the 2 points. So try one of each of those on your own, and we will do some more of this in class.